right. Guys all set?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Yes. Normal. I've been LARPing since I was 16. I LARPed at Nero in Claremont, and I played there until I didn't get along with some of the people. Well, one night, actually, Chad, we were playing D&D and he was 11, and I was, what, 20? Yeah. So we're hanging out, and we're trying to teach him and a bunch of his friends how to play the game, and he kept looking at me and saying, "Brandy, I give my sword to such and such." I said, "Well, go ahead." He said, "I give my sword to such and such." I said, all right. Everybody out to the front yard. I opened the trunk. I handed him out my weapons that I hadn't been using. I said, all right, I'm a bunny. You guys have to attack me. Here's your HP, here's your... And that's how it started. And honestly, 3 weeks later, the big guy over there, Jacob, I was getting a sub. He looked at me, he said, "I saw your rule book. Can I come play?" And he brought Adam, and Adam brought Tyler, and we've been doing this for 7 years. We started in the backyard for a year. Then my grandparents got this place and they let us build a tavern, monster camp where the monsters can get dressed up. Mm-hmm. And we have a logistics area where people can come and sign in. Everything was hand-built on site. We have our small camp. We have 2 small buildings which people can crash out in. We were trying for a third, but budget ran short. And we painted, and we come shovel off every winter. And the electricity is really cool because what we do is I set up a grid of extension cords that run through, and then we run on generator. So about 5 in the evening, we start the generator, and Christmas lights light up the forest. We don't play in the winter because honestly, we get so much snow that you have to bring a snowmobile down to brush the roofs off because it gets so deep out here. Here, the girls will come together and kick the guys' ass.
Girl power.
Yeah, and it's because from the girls I've seen, they're fast, they're quick, and they're quiet because you're lighter. When you're out in the woods, you can slink through where the guys, crunch, 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 crunch.
Yeah.
The girls will. The unsaid rule is you don't bring your girlfriend to LARP because you're gonna lose her. Because girls are the magical unicorns of LARPing. If you can find one that LARPs, wow. Not to mention, being a girl, you get really good perks. You always, people carry stuff for you, and they're nice. And I meet a lot of parents that don't want to let their kids come to play. They're like, "I'm not sure about this," and I had to explain, we're not a cult. We're just a theatrical group, and I run it. And then they look at all these guys, and they're like, "You're in charge of all these big guys?" Yeah. Yeah, I am. I said, and they're all good guys. Next one of my lackeys, I need Jacob.
Well, Randy, let me get this right. So, if Jacob gets poisoned, I can turn around and whack him with my poison and cure it?
Yes.
I'm cool with this.
That almost sounds interesting.
Oh, this is going to be a status-heavy game, because the statuses
Final
don't
Fantasy
cure.
is.
What you want to do is when you're writing for somebody, you take the character, and you say, all right, this person, I want to make them experience life with their character and come to conclusions with their character and grow. And you can actually get some of them to come to some realizations to bring them to tears. And those people will go home having the best weekend of their life. And the more that you can do that, the more fun it is. So it's storytelling.
It's a very safe form of escapism. Yeah, everybody has to do something just to get away from everything. And LARPing is you take yourself completely out of whatever was bothering you. Your boss is a jerk, or not getting paid enough. Who cares? Because you're somebody else. For most cases, we do it a weekend. In this case, it's only for a couple hours. But Yeah.
And honestly, it's really nice to get away from the world for a weekend and just be somebody completely different.
Like he said, you get to step away from your life, step into somebody else's. Just basically, the only way I can describe it is you leave all the stress that you have been doing on life, you know, all the stress, things aren't working out, blah, blah, blah. You get it, you know? You just step into the other character's shoes and you just feel it all fade away.
It gets you out of reality. It's just a good way to relax, get out, be with people that you like, know.
Most, probably to say it without stereotyping, I want to say the vast majority of people who end up gravitating towards LARPing tend to be gamers outside of that. Would you say they do tabletop role-playing or video games, or maybe they watch a lot of movies and TVs. While with LARP, you actually get a lot of aspect of exercise and physicality into that maybe a lot of people, like myself for example, big-time video gamer. I can sit on the couch all day. But if I come out here, I get to run around, work off some energy, and you know, so I think it's got a exercise bit to it.
And for physical veteran, it's not a bad workout. I mean, you're running all weekend and sparring, holding around foam weapons, so you get a pretty good little workout from it.
Very good workout. I will say that.
A fair amount of socialization, which is cool. I've met tons and tons of people throughout my LARPing career, which is awesome.
It's a nice way to meet new people. Then I've hung out with a bunch of them for a while now.
Alright, you guys all set?
Yeah, bread and butter.
Alright.
Sure, why not?
These monsters are your levels, so I want to see how this goes. 3, 2, 1, go!
3 normal. 6 normal. 3 normal. 6 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 normal. Takes away your MP. Okay. And that makes it 10, right? No. Three slash. Normal.
Normal! So yeah, we're $20 for the event. Monsters play for free.